the Virtual Chainsaw Guys, and this week I needed to bring in a co-host. I needed Derek from Dork De Jour, which is another podcast which I was a little bit a part of for a very short time. Derek comes from the Aint It Cool News chat room as well. I needed Derek to help me this week because the guy that I was interviewing was just totally larger than life. What do you reckon, Derek?
I would say that this is not only larger than life, I would say this is the most reviled and hated by the internet geek community filmmaker of our era, possibly of all time. This is the first villain filmmaker of our age, of the internet age.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much true. And the guy that we're talking about...
That is the one, the only Uwe Boll.
Yes, he is. The man that people have...
Or Uwe, or Uwe, or however the hell you say.
Uwe, I think.
Looks like you to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe it's Uwe. But people like to say that he's ruining their video game franchises. And, yeah, well, I'm not going to totally disagree with the fact that I don't like the movies that I've seen so far, but I explained that in the talk. Now, if you're coming to this podcast expecting to hear us bash the hell out of Uwe, okay, fuck off.
Yeah, because we made this interview last well over an hour. The two parts of it put together lasted well over an hour. And if we just bashed him, it would have lasted about 5 minutes. Now, not that I wouldn't want to hear somebody just bash him to his face, but that's not what we're doing. We're having a conversation. The thing is that his movies, you may think they may suck, but as a person, as an interview, as a interesting guy to talk to, Uwe is great. He's very likable. He's very forthcoming. He has no problem talking shit about his actors. And he's quite honest. So without further ado, we give you our talk with Uwe Boll.
Hello.
Hello, Uwe. Is it Uwe?
Yeah, now it's perfect.
Is it Uwe, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you. Okay, my name is Stephen.
Yeah.
I'm from Australia.
Yeah.
And we have...
I read it.
Okay, we also have here Derek Dmann, okay?
From Iowa.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
But you know that aintitcool.com is not my favorite webpage.
I do, actually...
We're aware of that.
Actually, Dr. Boll, I was witness to your meeting Quint. at the showing of... don't worry, he's not... Yeah, I'm not actually one of the writers on Aint It Cool, so...
No, Uwe, I just want to get something clear, that neither D-Man or I are employed by Aint It Cool News, okay?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we are not biased towards them in any way, okay?
Yeah. No, I talk to everybody, but in the case of Quint and Harry Knowles, I think they have another agenda in a way, and I don't think that they're looking out, that they give every movie a new shot, let's say it this way. I think they're looking only for weaknesses in a product, what I do, and in other movies they're overlooking all the weaknesses, and they write only like positive things about people they like. So, and I think this is stupid for journalists. If you want to like something, even if it's shit, you make a fool out of yourself as a journalist.
Okay, that's a fair call.
Yeah. So.
That's a fair call. I do have to admit, Uwe, I'm sorry, German isn't my primary language, so I have a hard time remembering how to exactly say it. So apologies to you. I don't mean to insult you. Okay?
Why you don't talk German right now?
I talk a tiny bit. I say guten Tag.
And I went to American schools. I don't know any other languages.
But what I wanted to say was, as far as movies go, okay, I have seen 3 of your movies so far. I've seen House of the Dead, Blood Rain, and Alone in the Dark. Okay.
Okay.
I must admit I didn't really enjoy Alone in the Dark much. It wasn't my flavour, if you understand.
Okay. It's no problem.
House of the Dead, I did think was a bad movie, but I can watch it, and I do think it is a fun bad movie.
Okay.
I gotta say, I had a lot of fun at that the screening of Blood Rain in Austin. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
But I think in a big crowd, these are movies if you enjoy it with a few people. If it's in front of the DVD or in the theater, then they're quite entertaining. So there's a thing. I think in Austin, the people reacted very positive to the movie, but not Harry and Quinn. Yeah. So it's for me it was for me kind of disturbing to read later on Aint It Cool that review. Like, if you have 300 people in a room and it looks like 280 had some fun with Blood Rain, and then you write like it's the biggest piece of shit. So I was a little disturbed by that. Like, I think we all are fans of B movies, or we all are fans also of C movies and direct-to-DVD movies, and we all know that 80% of the direct-to-DVD movies are far under the quality in everything of Blood Rain.
Yeah,
so
in everything, I can name quite a few.
Pick-up costumes.
What I said about Blood Rain was I thought that it reminded me of the direct-to-video barbarian movies I grew up on. In a positive way. It was just that fun sort of swords and boobs and stuff. This movie.
It was fun, actually.
It was
guys getting stabbed with swords and
with sex. Yeah. So it didn't try to be something else. So the thing. So
I gotta say, you did get a half for that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The
I was also surprised.
The cast in that.
I mean, Christina Loken. That's just very hot.
Well, if you're to believe the gossip rags, Cristiano Loken and Michelle Rodriguez, now, did they become a couple on that movie?
Yeah, but they split up then later, so it was...
did they? That's a very attractive
couple. But there was something going on.
Well, then we can say that there's definitely a thing to research into there. So,
absolutely.
Uwe, your new movie Postal and Dungeon Siege.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the two of them? When are they coming out? And what I have noticed that you tend to veer from the plots of the video games. I'm not insulting you. I'm saying that you do veer from the written plots of the video games. So what route have you taken this time?
On Dungeon Siege, we kept what is in the video game that in the beginning a farm gets basically plundered and robbed by Krug. And in Dungeon Siege, you don't have a real story in the game. You don't have a real characters, let's say it this way. And so we had to add all that in. Yeah, and but the basic idea to have like kind of a revenge story where his family, Jason Statham's family, gets killed and his wife gets kidnapped, and he basically must save the whole kingdom to get his wife back. And we added in the evil wizard Galleon, played by Ray Liotta. He wants to take over the kingdom also with the help of Matthew Lillard, who plays the nephew of the king. And the king is Burt Reynolds, and his positive wizard, John Rhys Davis, and his daughter Lily Zabriskie. They try to save the kingdom, but it turns out that only that farmer can actually help, and his neighbor is Ron Perlman. They go together on that adventure trip through like a lot of adventures until he gets his wife back. And Kristanna Loken is also in it. She plays a tree woman like woman. She has an army of women living in the trees and swinging from tree to tree like Tarzan.
Oh, they were in the trailer.
Wow.
Yeah, and so this is a basic story. The distribution situation is that it looks like an end of August, September release in US.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right now in negotiations with two major companies. It's kind of a complicated deal, and in Germany, it could be that the movie gets out in Germany already now Eastern, as the first country taking it out. 20th Century Fox has it here in Germany and in Benelux. So, and then we have to see what's going on in US, and the rest of the world depends on US.
Okay, so you've got a final cut of Dungeon Siege done?
Yeah, this is all done. We cut it down to like 2 hours and 5 minutes for the theatrical version. Mm-hmm. What is, I think, a very, let's say, tight, exciting version. Uh-huh. I personally like my director's cut more. It's 165 minutes long.
Whoa.
But it looks that the director's cut, what is like massive longer, like 45 minutes longer. But it will be only on DVD then available because they thought the movie is too long.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, so on the other hand, yeah, and on the other hand, big epics are always long. Yeah, so nobody like in even Kingdom of Heaven was 2.5 hours, and it's not a great movie, but this is the thing. So
yeah, and there's another one I prefer the director's cut on.
Yeah, I think the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven was actually better. I think in the theatrical version were a lot of surprisingly holes where I thought like something is wrong here. Let's say it this way. And I was not a big fan of Kingdom of Heaven as I saw it in the theater. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but I think in Dungeon Siege it plays very good, the 2 hours version. And funny is if you talk then with the studios, and I said, look, even Bad Boys, what is it? Was it Bad Boys 2 or Bad Boys 3? Was 150 minutes long.
Yeah.
And all
but Bad Boys 2 is very long.
Normally, yeah. And then they said, because all the fuckers have final cut.
Yeah, but
like
Bad
Michael
Boys
Bay,
2
for example.
Bad Boys 2 was also Shiza.
Yeah, horrible. It was way too long. But the funny thing is that the studios, they would prefer to get like a 2 hours movie or 110 minutes movie. But they're getting from everybody only like the super long movies, like Marty's Scorsese movies or whatever. They're also super long.
Okay.
And this is the situation around Dungeon Siege, and we sold a few other territories like Russia and Middle East and like territories where all my other movies were big hits. They are already sold and they're preparing big releases. We see.
And honestly,
what happens
with that cast, you should get it. I mean, that's a heck of a cast.
But I know, but it's not. Look, the thing for that movie is it was a massive investment, and I cannot afford to do a major deal where I get a release but no money.
Yeah. Because
this is the reality. Like a lot of that movies, it's not the big deal to get a release for Dungeon Siege. A lot of companies would take it out, but the problem is, what is the split? And I cannot afford that they charging P&A in first position, and then it's unlimited P&A.
Okay.
Because this is normally what the majors want. They tell you, look, we want to spend a lot of P&A. We want to make it really great. And then they double later the P&A bill. So, and then you make whatever. Let's say the movie makes, we go low now for whatever, $25, $30 million box office. For a movie like this, it should be, if it gets a 2003 release with a major, this should be almost a no-brainer. But what is it? 30 million box office is 15 million return. And they will charge, if they go out on 2,000 screens, they will charge 25 million P&A. And they charge 25% first dollar fee. So what means I'm around 15 million in loss after the theatrical release. And then they take the DVD and they keep all the DVD returns against the P&A loss. And from every dollar coming in, they still take the 25% out. So the problem is then for me, like it's a 60 million. We spent 60 million to make that movie. This is like not recoupable out of the foreign territories. It's like I need domestic, like U.S. revenues. I need it. I need a window. This is what I try to negotiate the whole time. I need a window first dollar.
Okay. Yeah.
So I want 15% of the box office. I want 20% of the video growth. I want 50% of the TV growth. No matter what the costs are, they have to recoup their P&A costs out of their part. And I need that window. And this is the deal. It's not easy to get. It's like...
No.
It's totally
was that the problem that came up after Blood Rain? I know there was some problem with the distribution.
Yeah, look, I didn't want it to go with Blood Rain. I didn't want it to go again with Lionsgate because they failed with... I think Artisan did a good job with House of the Dead. But Artisan was bought by Lionsgate, so Artisan was gone. Then I went to Lionsgate for Alone in the Dark, and Alone in the Dark did only $5.5 million box office.
Can I ask you a question?
And
yeah, I'm sorry. It's about Alone in the Dark. Just a couple of things. Just the first one. What was Christian Slater like to work with?
Very good. He was super focused, concentrated. He karate training and everything before, and he was totally fun to work with, and one of the easiest actors I worked with so far.
He just looks really relaxed and laid back.
Yeah, and was really. I think he thought also that movie is finally a movie where he is the lead in an action part again, because all that years. He's doing more the second lead or the third lead and supporting here, supporting there. And I always liked him a lot. And
same here.
He had the chance to be, if I have to pick Christian Slater or Keanu Reeves, I liked always Slater more. And True Romance is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I actually do have to agree with that.
Yes.
What was that, D-Man?
Yeah, but he never made it with it. Yeah. And later he didn't. But I understand now, because what happened during the release, he let us totally down. And he was playing a stage play in London at this time, and he got all that invitations for Jay Leno and everywhere. And he didn't came back to US to do the appearances in the press.
So
and only Tara Reid went out. Yeah, and this was that Tara Reid went out to do press for Alone in the Dark. I think hurt the movie, because in all that it's funny, but because look, all the TV shows they picking them scenes with her.
Yeah.
To promote the movie, and the scenes with her are horrible.
Yeah,
and this is the thing, there's a strong side of...
No offense, Uwe, but I really felt that she was... Tara Reid, you've gone on record before as saying that you felt that she was badly cast, that you wish you hadn't put her in the movie, I think you said?
Yeah, right. It's like this kind of thing what you regret, and the situation was, we were like 2 weeks before the production started, and Tara Reid's agent at ICM was sitting door to door with Christian Slater's agent. And we were asking David Anger, the agent from Slater, like, we need still the female lead. And then the other agent was saying, like, oh, Tara Reid would do it, she would do it. And she wants to be in a horror movie. And so because she was at this point quite famous, so it was not like nobody knows Tara Reid, it was definitely a name you could make some advertising with. But I had no idea how her acting was. And so she came to set, and I felt immediately like she cannot do it. But the problem is, if you're not a film studio, now you shoot like 2 days with Tara Reid. She has a pay-or-play deal. She gets $450,000 for the movie. If you stop the production, you have to pay Slater and Dorff more money. You have to pay the crew, and you have to find another actress. So in the end, to fire Tara Reid on day 3 would be $1.5 to $2 million.
But we'll just clarify that you really wanted to fire her.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I cannot, I couldn't do it. It was, I don't have the money. And so I had to keep her, and then I tried to carry her through the movie with, like, putting her eyeglass on, the hair back, putting, omitting full lines in the script. There were, like, way more text for her, and we cut it all down. And I had a bad feeling about it, and it was a mistake. But to do a decision like this, and then maybe in the end, I don't have like more money as I have for a movie, so I have to stay in that budget. There will be nobody giving me more money, and if we lock in a budget, this is a budget, and this is how it is then sometimes.
Okay. Now, I do have a question for you, okay? This is not me attacking you. This is something that Moriarty from Ain't It Cool News wanted to ask you personally. Okay, he said, I'm not the enemy. He wants you to answer this question if you could. So, I'm sorry, this isn't meant to come across as confrontational from me, okay? Now,
Look, don't be afraid. I get shit all the time, so...
No, I understand that, mate. I understand that. I just want you to understand that we've rung you with the best of intentions. We haven't rung you to slag you.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, he wants to know, he said he's made comments that basically you let your assistant directors wrangle everything. He says you let your actors direct themselves, and you don't do any pre-production to speak of. And he wants to know, what are you proud of in your work genuinely? Not budgets or getting something shot in time, but what do you think you've done that is genuinely worthwhile? So you've got the stage, and just by all means go ahead.
But who said that? Who said that?
Moriarty from Aint It Cool News.
Fuck, I couldn't understand it because Richard Lotex, or who said it?
Moriarty. He is the second in charge.
Is the name?
Moriarty.
He's a screenwriter out in L.A.
He's one of the.
Yeah, but he was. What?
He's one of the big guys for Ain't It Cool News. He's one of the guys in charge.
Anyway.
Yeah, but where did he ever went to a set from my movies?
No. He just wants to know what have you done?
Yeah, but how can he say? Yeah, but how can he say that? What I'm doing on set? If he was never on set,
okay.
I don't get that. The same. Let's say the same thing. Like, look, the Aint It Cool guy I knocked out in the ring.
Mirror Jeff.
What was his name again? What was his name?
Jeff.
Jeff
Schneider.
I'm pretty sure
right?
for about 2 days he didn't know his name either.
Yeah, look, but he didn't. This. You know why? You know why? I don't like him, because he didn't even came in Vancouver to set.
Okay.
This was a funny thing. We pay him the flight to bring him to set for Postal, and even Richard Lotex played as an extra in Postal, right?
Okay.
He didn't came to set. He didn't talk to me. He didn't interview me. He told to the press he never saw a movie from me, but he wants to go to Vancouver. And then, even if it was in the press all over the place that the boxing fights are real, he has nothing else to do as to say after this, the boxing, he told me I'm not hitting him.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. That's
Hello? Yes.
Yeah, good.
Did they train all for those fights?
Oh, but so this is for the let's say this way. Ain't It Cool, represented by Jeff Snyder, lost all the credibility in my eyes for me, because to do something like this as a wannabe 22 years old mini journalist is so arrogant and so let's say wrong. It's wrong, and so this is the thing. And if Michael Moriarty or whoever it is, said like on set, is it so and so, and he was never on set of a Boll movie, I don't even know how I should answer this. But what I can say is, I'm a director who involves the actors a lot. And we are doing rehearsals and read-throughs, what he maybe cannot see because I do that alone with the actors. And every actor can come up with proposals.
Okay.
And every actor gets the room to show me a take he wants to do it. We do a lot of rehearsals, and I do that alone with the actors, and I give every actor the possibility to form in that rehearsals what they want and how they want to play it.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's also another very important thing is, if you write something or you have a script and now you have an actor, you have to accept that every actor has his own strengths. A Jason Statham is a guy who comes across best if he plays without a lot of words, with a lot of humor, dry humor, but he has a great screen appearance. He has not to talk to the audience that he is believable. You see in his eyes, and he is believable. And you have to let these guys doing what they can do best, where they are best in. And I think this is very important for people like this to support the strengths of the actors. And this is what I try. So I'm not a dictator on set and try to change actor characters in my vision. I try to cast the actors in a way that they are fitting in the parts, and I think from Blood Rain on, at least it works better compared to the Tara Reid thing with Alone in the Dark, and then I let the actors do what they do, and I make the decision how we film it, how I present the actor.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so and I think this is for me the way to go. I think also that it's completely stupid to do 60 takes from something. They're like two different kind of attitudes. You have people like Zach Ward, the guy from Postal. He just worked with Michael Bay, and look, he's doing 30 takes, 40 takes, and another friend of mine, he's just doing the hello, morning. He's just doing the movie with David Fincher.
Ah, yes.
Right? And Fincher is shooting on HD, right. and he's doing 60, 70 takes. And even the actors don't know why. So they ask like, what should I do different? Yeah, so this for me is that also it's burning money. And if you have good actors, I don't think like people like Burt Reynolds, they need more as 3 takes. Yeah. And Jason Statham is a lot of times in 1 take rate. And so you have directors like this, you have directors like that. Like Clint Eastwood is doing a lot of times only 1 take. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he walks away because it's good. So I do takes between 2 times. I think I do everything 2 times with 2 cameras, and sometimes I do it 15 times, but I never did a take 25 times. So
that's fair enough. Yeah. Okay. That's actually quite interesting, to be honest with you. With Postal, when's Postal due out? Any idea?
Yeah, we have 2 versions. Mm-hmm. We have a little shorter theatrical version, what is around 100 minutes, and we have a 2 hours director's cut, what is quite long for a comedy action movie in a way. I think Postal will be so it will be a big surprise for a lot of people, and I will get a lot of, let's say, I think for Postal I will get a lot of backlash that I get like harsh criticized from political and religious parties, and but I will get
I think
also, I
Postal's
think, a lot
gonna
of
get-
support.
There's a guy down in Florida named Jack Thompson who's probably going to get on your back about Postal. He's on the violent video games thing. He's an attorney out of I want to say Miami,
So
he is a
if you can
right jerk.
If you can, is it too late to put another character into Postal?
would be interesting. I had in Vancouver was Sony. They came up to look Dungeon Siege, and then I showed the cut from Postal, and the reaction was the following: like they laughed their asses off, and they said, "This is a movie what everybody wants to see, but what is a movie what nobody will ever distribute." And I said, "Thanks for telling me." And he said, he basically said, like, "This is something where we make fun out of September 11 and everything. We show September 11 from the point of view of the window cleaner, where the airplane flies in."
Ooh.
And so this is only this is only the beginning, and so this is really, really politically incorrect and really harsh, and a lot of people will get, let's say, a lot of people getting a blast out of it. Like they laughed their asses off, they liked it, but they said you can, so like every 10 minutes they were sitting there shaking their heads and said like, "We cannot fucking believe it." Okay. Like they couldn't believe it that we actually did it.
Okay.
And we have a scene, for example, in slow motion where we only shoot children, and you shouldn't shoot children in movies, and for this reason we shoot only children in a scene. We have in the opening sequence basically two fundamentalists. They are in the pit, and they getting into a basically dispute about how many virgins they're getting in eternity. And one guy said, like, "Soon we're dead and I have 100," and the other guy said, "They promised me 99. So, and it starts like, if they're not sure if it's 100 or 99, what is if it's only 10? And what if it's only 10 and we have to split it? And then the other guy says, "Okay, we should call Osama." And then they call with a cell phone Osama, and they take him how hard it was coming to security and all that shit. And then like, "Osama, how many virgins you precise promise us now, guarantee?" And he says 20. So they hang up and they look at each other, and then the one guy said like, "You know what, fuck it, and let's go to the Bahamas." And at the same time, the passengers coming through the door, the cockpit, and they want to take the airplane, and they're not getting it that the terrorists are not anymore flying into the World Trade Center, but because of the fist fight in the cockpit, they're losing completely control, crashing into the World Trade Center.
Okay, now
so this is the open.
Oh my god!
Are you preparing?
That's so wrong.
Yeah, that is very wrong. Are you preparing? Are you preparing yourself for the backlash that's going to come from this? Because you know that you're going to have a hard time getting that past the MPAA, I reckon.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, what if I send it to the rating? What will happen there? Maybe directly, whatever, take the print and burn it or something. I don't know. But the point was interesting was to see, like, for example, the terrorists played by the guys from Spielberg's movie Munich. So we have the Mossad guys. Actually, funny is that all our Taliban, like Osama is Larry from the Soup Nazi Seinfeld.
Yeah.
All our Taliban, the Mohammed Jewish, like Jewish actors. And a few others.
Tell me you got Osama to say no jihad for you.
I don't know what will happen. It's I was surprised at AFM. I showed a few clips to my Middle East buyer. And he actually said, I take it. And I told him, like, yeah, but how can you get in Middle East, if you show that movie in Saudi Arab, you will get, like, wait a second, let's start the motor again. You will get hacked in pieces, like.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'll become the next guy we see on YouTube getting beheaded.
Yeah, I don't know. And no, he said that he has two options. He said it will be the biggest hit in Middle East, or he will die. So, and he said he will see, wait what the movie is, and also Israel bought it also. So it is interesting and interesting to see in the international market that the most political correctness in America, like where the people have a lot of that self-censorship in their head. What is actually interesting, because normally in America, also in Europe, you can say what you want, and it's not like a regime what kills you if you open your mouth. But it's actually the opposite if it comes down to can we do that? This political correctness, what we all have in our head, is... And it
all comes from just being the fear of being perceived as being insensitive or racist or whatever. It's all like you make jokes that it might not be Arab people who get upset. White people being afraid that laugh at it, than Arab people that they hate all Arab people, and it's bizarre. This country's all weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But we see in a movie like Borat, we see a little. Okay, there was like Georgia was blamed and everything, and it was easy to release a movie like Borat in a way because there was like a mini country got, or he made fun out of a country, and but we should have the ability also to laugh about ourselves. That's what's going on in our political climate, and what happens after September 11 is basically, I think, so crazy. The Afghanistan, then the Iraq war, and basically one wrong political decision after the other. So that I think the best way to do it is with a comedy.
Yeah.
So and because then we can show it, be like how crazy it is, what we're doing the whole time, and yeah.
Can you guys hear me still?
What?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I was getting some feedback on my microphone. I just had to edit it. Basically, I mean, I can tell you now, either it's going to come across very funny, or we're going to hear about you being the next Antichrist. Actually,
which wouldn't hurt the box office.
Would not hurt. Yeah, controversy always helps at the box office.
Yeah, this is the point, and I think time to make a movie like this. It was there's too much. It happened too much to go over it, and I think a movie like Jawhead, this was in a way it was marketed like a critical movie, whatever, criticizing the Iraq. But if you see that in the movie, you really ask, like, where was the critic now here? What was the sensational critic thing in Jawhead? And especially if like the good anti-war movies are all, let's say, older. Like Wag the Dog was a good movie.
Yeah, Wag the Dog was very good.
Yes, it was.
It was superb.
Yeah, it was very good, and way before the September 11th, May. And after it, nothing came. And the real big war movie, like the Deer Hunter or this kind of really good war movies, the Coppola Apocalypse Now, these were like classical great war movies and actual and criticizing it and showing the craziness. And what we have in the last 10 years, we have like movies, Mel Gibson, Once We Were Soldiers, or even now Flags of Our Fathers. I think it's completely ridiculous and boring. So I don't know, maybe you saw it, Flags of Our Fathers, but I think the movie was terrible. if it would be not that Clint Eastwood and produced by Steven Spielberg, people would say what it is. It's totally boring, and you know from the beginning on how this movie ends.
Well, yeah, it's history.
It was kind of a boring story about guys who didn't want to sell war bonds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you kind of went, okay. That one, I walked out of that movie scratching my head.
Yeah, Uwe, one thing. Yesterday...
It was so bizarre.
Yesterday when we got off the phone... Can you hear me?
Yeah.
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 Derek and I, D-Man and I, both agreed that you've got a very, very reminiscent voice, a very familiar voice, and we finally figured out where it come from. Now, Derek's been dreading me saying this, I think.
Yes, I have.
Do you remember Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember the guys that were chasing Dr. Jones in it?
The German guy, or what?
Yeah. We figured out you sound exactly like him.
Like Toad.
So what we were wondering is, can we get you to say the infamous line, "We have ways of making you talk, Dr. Jones"?
I don't get it. I should say the line from the Lost Ark.
Can you say that for us? We have ways of making you talk, Dr. Jones.
I have problems understanding it exactly. I should say it.
Well, we might.
It's very closely that I.
No, that's okay. We might skip over that. It's just a very, very familiar voice. Yeah. But I know Derek has some questions as well that he wanted to ask you.
Well, when I do remember you talking about, and I really wanted you Madsen on Blood. Now he had a little bit of fun on that movie. I guess is the way I was told. That he liked to have a couple of drinks, I guess is the way you'd say it.
Yeah, it was
he drunk?
With Michael Madsen. It's a strange. It was a strange relation to him. In the beginning, was it really, really bad, and we almost went into a fight because the scene where he's in the cell. You remember maybe he spit Sanderson in the face. It was the boss, and Will Sanderson, Adonis, the guy in Blood Rain, is in front of the boss, and he spit him for real in the face, and he did it like 3 or 4 times. And really like where he got like stuff in his eyes also. And if this would happen with a, let's say, big actor, maybe a lawsuit after it.
Yeah.
For infection risk and everything. And I told him, he was totally drunk when he played the scene. And I told him, you don't spit Sanderson again in the face. And he did it again. And then we actually got the set. And then I and Sean Williamson and he were alone in the cell, and everybody else walked away. And I told him, like, I cannot keep shooting the movie with him because this was direct first shooting day. It's acting like this, drunk and gives a shit about everything, change the line so that the other actors cannot really react. And he was in a very bad mood. I think private, he had problems. He has so many divorces or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then he was in the room, and an hour later we were ready to keep shooting, and I had to go in the room. Nobody wanted to go in his room, taking him out, and the light was off, and I couldn't find the light switcher. And then I was sitting down somewhere on a chair there, and what I found, and he was in bed, like, and I heard him only breathing. I couldn't see anything, and then I told him why because I like him and I like his moves, and I like his acting, and I cannot believe that he destroys here my imagination from him. And it was ridiculous because I'm a fan, and And then he came down, he played the scene, and he was not good the next 1-2 days. But overall, every day he got better, more disciplined, and in the end of the movie, he was really a good guy, and we're hanging out on set. He never forgot his lines, so he turned it in a way around what was very good, and he helped promoting the movie. He came to the premiere in the Chinese scene in L.A. He brought his sister Virginia Metz to the premiere, so he was
She's
overall.
a beautiful woman.
And he turned into I don't want to say a friend, in a positive way around. This is like if you have then a situation where I said later, where you have a great relationship during the whole shoot, and then he's not coming to promote the movie and let me there alone, basically. This is disturbing.
Yeah.
But you don't know why. Yeah. So, and, but this is sometimes like Hollywood. This is one of the reasons I don't want to stay there or live there, because it's all in a way so fake. you don't really know what these guys are up to, and you cannot count, on people for a longer time period.
Okay.
It's like during the shooting, you're all the best buddies, and after a shoot, it's all over, and the people acting like totally foreigners.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, Uwe, tell me one thing. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry, it sounded like you dropped out for a second. Tell me one thing. With the movies that you've done, who would you and who wouldn't you work with again?
You mean actors or crew?
Yeah, actors.
I always work with the same,
actors, I'm sorry.
This question. Yeah. You see that I would always work with Michael Paré again. The guy from Streets of Fire.
Yep.
Michael Paré. And he's one of the few really good friends of me. And he's a great cook also. He learned cooking in New York City for 1.5 years. What is great. And he has always, I give him smaller parts. He was in Sanctimony, the cop. He played in Blackwood, the cop. He played a teacher in Heart of America. He was not in House and Alone, and in Blood Rain he was Yanku, the guy, the weaponer, the armorer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw him in there, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And I hate to say that about an actor. It's not nice to their ego. But I hadn't seen him in a while, and I like from back in the 80s with Eddie and the Cruisers and the Philadelphia Experiment and all those great movies he did back then. It was like, hey, there he is. It was really cool to see him in there, just as in that little quick role as the guy who sells him the weapons.
Yeah. Everyone loves cameos and favorites.
And he was... Wait, I go out of my car. If we're cutting off, you have to do it again, but normally it should work. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're here.
We got...
Okay, good. Okay, we're connected to the car, and if I walk away, sometimes it cuts off. But, no, this is, for example, a guy who has no attitude, and he had a time where he was quite big, then he went down, but he's always solid, and he is in Seed, the detective, and I think Seed is actually his best part, maybe at all. What he played the last 10 years. He's really good as a detective. Mm-hmm. And and Will Sanderson, I met him first time on Blackwoods, but he stopped acting, so he don't want to act anymore. He's basically since Blackwoods he was in all my movies, and he plays the right hand of Kagan, right of Ben Kingsley in Blood. It's too bad, but he don't want to act anymore. So, and I would definitely work again with Kristanna Loken. I worked 2 times already. Mm-hmm. I like her really much as a friend. Also, she's super nice.
And she's gorgeous.
Yeah. Fulani was really nice. She's super. Matthew Lillard, all the actors from Dungeon Siege, I would work with again.
So Dungeon Siege was a pleasant movie to make.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like the biggest budget, but the easiest to shoot. even if ability was the biggest, and we had like whatever 400 or 500 extras. We had 66 shooting days. Really, my movies are 30 shoot. So and 66 shooting days, and it was so a good experience to have all the possibilities. Like you can shoot with enough cameras from all angles.
Yep.
And this was a pleasure, and all the actors are into it. They were prepared, no attitude. Even people, I can imagine if you have a small movie and you have Burt Reynolds or you have Ray Liotta, that they give you shit, like that they are problems or arrogant or whatever to the crew. I can imagine that. But on Dungeon Siege, there were so many stars that they were really like nice to everybody.
Oh,
and Ray
cool.
was with Jason Statham, so it was like a very good group together where nobody had any attitude, and this was really and I would work with Christian Slater again, but it's a little messed up with that situation.
Now I'm guessing Tara Reid fits the "I would never work with her again" mold.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not interested to work with her again. For a martini, yes, but not for a movie. And we never say no. But Jürgen Prochnow is nice to work with. Guy from Das Boot.
Yeah,
who played in House of the Dead.
I tell you what I'm noticing about Dungeon Siege is you have a little bit of it looks like you have a little bit of a passing of the torch there, if so to speak, with having Burt Reynolds, sort of the guy from the '70s, and Jason Statham in there. No, he's the big tough guy now, actor. So I see a little passing of the torch there from one generation to the next.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is. I'm really lucky that this happened with Jason Statham. We went first for Kevin Costner for Dungeon Siege, and I talked to him and everything. And in the end, I'm so happy that he passed because we were so much better off with Jason Statham. He can do all the action. He's a real star. He's somebody like a young Clint Eastwood or a young Bruce Willis, and who can transport a movie. And Kevin Costner is not anymore there where he was with Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, but I think you would have made a really bad mistake if you had to go on with Costner, just in the sense that I can't see him as an action star.
Thing. Not anymore.
No, not anymore. No. But
no, this is the thing. Like 10, 15 years ago, maybe, but now over.
All right.
So
tell me this, Uwe. Uwe, is there anything you can tell us about Postal that you haven't told anyone else? Like, can you give us any sort of exclusives on it?
Yeah, look, the beginning. This is exclusive.
Yeah.
nobody knows what the beginning of the movie is, and we have various other things, but a lot of that gags or a lot of that what we do, you have to see.
Yeah.
It's like what we do with Postal is also it's about really the right of free speech to say it cannot be that we have a self-censorship in our head. The thing like in a way a lot of the fundamentalistic religious people are insults for people with, let's say, a free brain, and I think the normal people believe more in natural sciences and in like that what you let's say what you think because it's logical for yourself or what your own experience is, and in the free Western world a lot of people are super religious, but we all fulfilling kind of we getting limited in that what we can say because of the self-censorship, because of the whole political climate after September 11. And I think this is ridiculous. That we cannot make a gag about Mohammed, for example, because in Dutch, the director got killed because of it, or like just in the they cancelled a stage play because there was like Mohammed in that stage play as an whatever, yeah. So they canceled because they were afraid that something can happen. And I think we cannot allow this. We cannot in a like now, after tons of let's say in the history where tyrants dictated what people can think, what people can do, and now we all claim for ourselves that we're living in a free world. But then as soon there is a kind of a threat, everybody pussies out, and nobody makes a stand and says, for real, I give a shit about it. For me, Muhammad is a pussy, and I show it. I give a shit because it's only Muhammad it's like you can make a gag about Jesus. Monty Python did it.
Yeah.
In Life of
Brian. A whole movie about it.
They did it. Right. And then Charlie Chaplin did gag Hitler during Hitler was alive. This guy's had the spinal cord. This guy's made a stand. And what
and it's not like we're going to piss the fundamentalist Muslims off at us more. I think, as an American, I can say that the whole Iraq war, pretty much, we've hit the red line on pissing them off, and they're as pissed off as a person can be. So why not make the jokes? And did you know that there's actually a portrait of Muhammad into the woodwork in the main hall of the Supreme Court of the United States?
Oh, you are shitting me.
Yeah.
No, it's been there for like 150, 200 years.
Wow. I didn't mean that as a bad thing. I just didn't know that.
Yeah. And it just sort of shows you that that the good old days were the way things are now, but obviously they weren't.
Yeah.
People weren't uptight about those things.
Yeah.
Uwe, we've got a few things that we have to talk about yet. Just quickly, a lot of people criticize you. We talked yesterday about how the video games movies that you have made so far haven't really followed the plots of the games that closely so far, okay? Not directly. Now, do you actually, I believe this is a fair question, but do you yourself actually make a point of playing these games that you're making movies of?
Make a point of what? Say it again. Make a point of?
Playing the games.
A plan?
Playing the games of the movies that you're making.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I played Postal a long time before I even bought the film rights. But the thing is, and look, the video game geeks, they have all their own movie in their head. If you play a game forever, for weeks and weeks and weeks, you have your own world around you. And whoever touches that, whoever makes a movie out of it, or is adding stories or characters or whatever, makes a mistake in the mind of that game geek. But if you make a movie what you want that people see also, what you want that people see everywhere, they have no idea that it's based on the game, you have to change it. You can't do it one-to-one. There are games that are so good, you can almost move into the movie and you stay super close to the game. For example, Silent Hill, I think, was a good movie, and it's one of my favorite games. And this was a great concept from the beginning on, so you could use a lot from the game. But in House of the Dead, what can I use from the game? So it's a non-stop massacre, yeah. And I think the movie is similar to the game. But the thing is, there are games you have more story, you have more characters, you have more backstory, and there are games where you don't. And what I said, like on Alone in the Dark, Atari failed to deliver the game number 5 during we shot the movie.
Yeah.
They had in LA, Lady Earl was working there, and he showed me stuff what was totally similar to our movie. They developed it before we started shooting, and we tried with the artifact and all that shit, what was in it. We tried to bring it all in the movie, and then everything fell apart. Atari LA got completely closed. Larry Irving got fired. And now, finally, 2 years later, they finished Alone in the Dark 5 with new developers, and horror is the Central Park in New York City.
Yeah.
Totally different game. And then, but we plan to do a second part, not with Christian Slater, like a direct version, a smaller movie, but
I saw that on the internet today that it was announced.
Yeah, it could be, and we want to do that like horror in the Central Park thing. It's on Alone in the Dark 5.
Well, I tell you what, if you
I will not direct that.
If you ever extend an invitation for a boxing match for game geeks everywhere, I tell you what, do you want to keep me front and center for that?
Look, the boxing once in a saying we don't do it again, and it was a reaction after the Blood Rain reviews.
Yeah.
And after, like, on IMDb, the people voted against Blood Rain before the movie was out.
Yeah.
Because, look, you were, your colleague, he was in Austin in that screening. And this was the only screening.
Hang on, who was that? Quint?
Before
No, I was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was there. So, right there. So, he was there. And the only screening, what happened before the movie came out. We never went to another festival, and we didn't press screenings, and we didn't make interviews, and we didn't make a test screening. So, and before the movie came out, was on IMDb, 800 people at 1 point. And I don't think that this 800 people were the people from Austin, Texas. They saw that movie there. I don't think so, because in that audience, I would guess at least half of the people really liked that movie. And I don't think that these people all went to IMDb to vote. I think maybe Austin or 10 from Austin went to IMDb to vote pro or contra Blood Rain. So there was a huge, basically anonymous crowd trashing and destroying my movie up front without looking. And I think, and pissing me off. I think this is super and completely ridiculous.
Well, that's fair enough. But like I said, if it ever happens again, just give me a call, mate. I'll come out and I'll be your first contestant. Okay.
With backlash and that kind of sort of ahead of the movie even coming out, people who hate it before they've even given it a chance and seen it. Did it ever make you think, hey, you do all these video game adaptations? Do you ever think, I'm going to do something that doesn't have all this attached to it, that doesn't have all these fans with all their preconceived notions, just do something that's not necessarily attached to a property?
Yeah, that's where Seed came from, isn't it?
Yeah. No, right. Yeah, you're right. It's Seed definitely is a result of that, sitting down. One of the other points where I sit down and I said, like, if I get always shit, then from now on, please, for projects I've wrote, and not for stuff what I didn't wrote. And so Seed and Postal I've wrote on my own, and if people don't like it, then I'm fully responsible. I personally think that we tried our best with House but it was from the script also not good enough, and I made a mistake to go into production with that script. It would be better to revise it more and change it and then to make the movie. And I didn't want to make that mistake again, because I before I shot Seed and Postal, I know that Siege is a real good movie. And I can basically, Dungeon Siege, I can go only down the drain from the quality if I don't have something special after it. And I think with Seed and Postal, even if Quint is on Aint It Cool, I don't even know that he saw the movie. It's funny because I was at the Seed screening and I didn't saw him. So, but I disagree with that. What he wrote. The movie is very, very intense.
You didn't agree, yeah.
It was also, by the way, at FM not the final version. We're still working on a few CGI shots, so it's still not completely done. But the response of other people were different to that. What Quinn said. It's a movie. It's not funny. It's not cheesy, and I think I reached that what I wanted to do with that movie. Okay. So, and with Postal is a special thing. It's we see what Postal is in the end. But we never screened a satire or a critic. I don't know.
Okay, but at the same time, I understand your hatred towards Quint. I really do. Apparently, you called him your nemesis or something at one stage. But
no, I think only what they couldn't stand maybe is that I'm not a kisser.
Yeah, oh, no, I understand that. But what I'm saying,
I think Harry knows got so much ass kissing in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And he talked me then in Austin, the sidewalk, I'm a producer now. I have a green light, 100 million from Paramount on a movie, and then I told him I believe it if I see it. And I think they only play you. Like, we have Harry Knowles. We bought Harry Knowles. So he can sit on a set, taking the hand of Guillermo or other people, thinks he's part of the team. But he is not. He got absorbed from the Hollywood system because they couldn't afford that there is a guy who is independent, who really has power to trash some movies or make movies bigger or smaller, and he lost his power because he got bought. That's what I think. And he cannot stand that, or he hates me for that, start trashing my movie.
Well,
20 years.
I'm not really sure on the details of that, so I can't really wade into that part of it. But what I was saying was that despite your dislike of Quint and Harry and all that, can you at least, how would I put this? Can you at least respect the fact that they do have the right to their own opinion as far as your movies go? As you have the right of your opinion to how Ain't It Cool News is.
No, absolutely. And I said always, there are tons of opportunities to write a really bad review about House of the Dead, or Alone in the Dark, or also Blood Rain.
Yep.
And I never expected for movies great reviews. But for me, it's a difference between like a personal damaging strategy of a journalist or to write a review about a movie.
Okay.
And then you can write about House of the Dead. It's dumb, it's easy, whatever. But if you write about House of the Dead or Blood Rain, that it looks like $100 million, like a $100 trash movie made with video camera, and everything is so bad. Don't go and look the movie. If somebody writes this, then this is a strategy to destroy my business in lying. Yeah. And this is the point. There is no better cast in a vampire video game movie or in a video movie as in Blood Rain. It's a fucking big feature. it is what it is.
Yeah.
And they cannot, we had whole cities they're under control and whole castles, and we have 8 bigger actors in it. It's bit to say the movie looks like $100 trash movie. If you write like $100 video movie could be better as Blood Rain, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. But it's all about how you put your words in. This makes it then kind of where I feel an intention of a critic, or like on a message board, a guy, if you write something, if the intention is only to get me out of business in throwing out lies, me or products or whatever, then I think then I have the right to be really pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to read ongoing, totally bullshit or lies. There's a thing. It has nothing to do with a bad review. I can live with a bad review.
Well, it's like I said, neither Derek or I actually work for Aint It Cool News. We're not attached to them in that sense. So we're not on their payroll or anything like that. I don't necessarily agree with everything Moriarty says or Quint. I've read quite a bit of their stuff that they have opposing views that I do. What I do think, though, is the fact that I understand exactly what you're saying, and I do agree with a chunk of it. I personally think that it's better sometimes just to say, well, fuck it, they can have their opinion, I'll have mine. And while I understand that it is a site where a lot of people go and see it, in the end, somebody's going to make up their mind on a movie if they see it, when they see it. And anyone who makes up their mind on a movie before they see it is a fucking moron. That's what I think.
Absolutely. I agree, yeah. The thing, this is unfair. And then you get people in the message board having higher ratings,
I was not calling Harry or Moriarty or Quint or anyone that. I'm saying to the general population, if you judge a movie like that. Okay, so we'll just get that clear.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, and I think this is the truth. It's like every movie, no matter from who did it, should get a new shot, and it's absurd to, or the tendency of a lot of people is, even for me, is to say because I like a director, even if we made now a bad movie, to say it's a bad movie, because you think, oh fuck yeah. Why I should say it's a bad movie. I want to like that movie. And this is what we said with Flags of Our Fathers, for example. And this is the thing. And in other cases, you don't like a director, and then it's like a pre-stamp on that director. And even if he makes a really, really good movie, the maximum what people say then is, yes, this is a D movie. Yeah, and it's tough to say his movie was, whatever, his movie Alone in the Dark was crap, but Postal is not it's a fucking great movie. So this is tough for people. They wrote for totally negative about something.
The one thing I've found...
this is...
The one thing that I've found, Uwe, is... The one thing that I have found with the internet is that sometimes I think people get a little bit too worked up over things. I think they expect too much from a movie. No offense really meant here, but I don't expect a lot from Postal. I don't expect it to be Gone with the Wind. But I would like it if it's a fun movie.
I played Blood Rain, the game, There's a limit to what can come out of that. It was a fun vampire thing, but there's not much. The game was much more than that.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, Uwe, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
It's been absolutely great. Are you wanting to come back any time to talk? Because I hope you've actually had a good experience this time.
Yeah, look, actually, I walk my dogs right now here, so I'm just I'm free to talk. There's no problem.
I'll put this. I'll put this out to the people listening just quickly. I have rung around to a lot of agents wanting to talk to a lot of people. For every person I've talked to so far, I've been knocked back for about at least 10 others. I've been able to talk to one person out of 10, roughly. Uwe Boll, as soon as I got in contact with him, within, I think it was about an hour, was it, Uwe? Yeah, within the hour, I had been contacted by Uwe about having an interview. He's very approachable, and it was an absolute pleasure doing this interview, Uwe.
Absolutely.
No, it was a pleasure for me also, no problem. So we stay in contact?
Yeah,
if you
definitely.
have more questions?
Absolutely.
Definitely, mate. I will.
Always call me and send me the link or whatever where I can see what you wrote or what you do.
Most definitely, and you can. Tell you what. Why don't you give us roles in your next movie?
I'm no actor.
we're still in the preparation like of Far Cry, but it should be summer. So if you can't map to maybe Vancouver or Hawaii, we don't know enough.
No, that's cool.
You get shot by
I can.
the lead of Far Cry. Yeah, we can.
You're not using real bullets, I hope.
We can arrange it. No.
You have no real bullets.
Actually, the only, you know what? In my movie Run Amok, the German movie, what I did, we used real guns and real bullets because we had no blanks. So, yeah, this is like, if I see this stuff again, I get fucking scared.
Hey, Uwe?
And,
you've never seen The Crow, have you?
This was really like, I wouldn't do it. So, yeah. Okay, good.
Okay, well,
yeah, we keep it on.
We will definitely, and we would love to catch up with you sometime.
Absolutely.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. That was great. Well, there you go. That was Uwe Boll. And I hope you enjoyed that as much as Derek and I both enjoyed bringing that to you. What do you reckon, Derek?
And, yes, and if you're a Dork De Jour listener and you don't normally listen to Virtual Chainsaw, you should definitely check out Virtual Chainsaw. The address will be in the show notes, or just head over to, virtualchainsaw.libsyn.com?
Libsyn.
Yes, at libsyn.com. And if you're a Virtual Chainsaw listener and don't listen to Dork De Jour, you want to hear something a little more catty, a little more gossipy, I would say, head right over to Dork De Jour. That's Dork, D-D-E, Jour, at .blogspot.com. And both of those will be in both of our show notes. And I think both listeners of both podcasts would like to listen to the other.
Okay, people, thank you for listening this week, and we'll catch you next time. When I don't know if I'll reveal the guy's name, just in case the interview doesn't go ahead per chance.
But we have some big things on the horizon.
Yeah, when I say there's a very big name possibly coming in, I mean a very big name coming in very soon for anyone who loves horror. He is one of the biggest.
Legend.
So,
I don't think it's an understatement to say the man is a legend. So just go through the legends and go, wow, it's one of these guys?
And no, we're not talking Bruce Campbell. I'm talking someone who means
more than Bruce Campbell. As much as we love Bruce Campbell, and if Bruce Campbell's listening, please, hey, give us a call.
No, his manager knocked me back. And Ken Forey's manager...
Well, I don't like his manager, but I still like him.
I'm not paying money for an interview, because I'm not paying money for a fucking interview. Okay? Okay, well, I think I'm going to get sued if I keep going on. So, have a great day. Bruce Campbell, I wish you the absolute best. Bruce Campbell's manager, I'm kidding. I know you're a professional. Thank you anyway. Ken Forey's manager, I hope you climb into bed with a bunch of angry hornets.
Good night.
Have a good night, guys. I'll see you all later.